Hello, now we have audio again. Alright, let's try that. That will work better. I had to restart the computer this evening to apply some system patches, and every time I do that, it messes up the audio. That plus there was a NVIDIA driver update, which it did tell me there were some issues with the audio. Alright, where am I up to? What am I doing? Be gone biped. Alright, so am I at a station? No, I'm on the Nexus, so I want to go to a station so I can trade some bones. Hi, Ignition. I am failing at being people today. Brem has finally moved from the ICU. Yay, he is on a ward. I did go visit him today, just before he moved to got moved to the ward, and he was chipper. He got moved a couple of hours after that, just after dinner. We're still not. Oh, that's not where I wanted to go. I am talking and not thinking. We're still not sure what the inciting incident was. We're trying to work it out. He's on double the antibiotic doses at the moment while they try and work out what's going on. We're hoping that he will be heading home in the next couple of days. I get the feeling it probably won't be tomorrow, but it might be the day after. But we will find out. We have a bone trader. That's what I was looking for. So, I need to do some trades. I need a biped skull. What do we reckon is a biped? The keen skull could definitely be a biped. Do we have a gex skull? Okie doke. Has the inflammation subsided? It is coming down. My understanding, and I have told Brim I was going to jump on. I'm not sure if he's going to jump in with more information, but I believe the statement was the swelling is coming down, though not as fast as they would like. Hence the extra days and the double antibiotics at the moment. And he's been having to have a whole bunch of bonus infusions that we're trying to work out what's going on. So 5 available. So that's definitely a suck it and see where we get to. So we'll see how that all works out. But it's very much a play it by ear. Yeah, we hope things improve soon too. We have been definitely having a bit of a rough patch lately. Between the two of us. I've already got that. Okay. That's a sellable item. Nice. Alright. But it's gonna be challenging. So at the moment we're sort of fingers crossed that he gets released soon, but we're also going, it would be really good if he didn't get released on Wednesday. Because I'm having the broken tooth extracted on Wednesday, and I'm going to have a local having it pulled, is the current plan. We are anticipating that, based on like when I got my wisdom tooth pulled, we know that they're going to have to cut the jaw at least partly to get the tooth out. So the odds are we're looking at probably some fairly strong painkillers afterwards, which will probably mean not fit to drive and definitely not fit to be monitoring someone who may need care after I don't know, I've not really paid attention to it. I'm pretty sure it's going to be something akin to pliers, but they'll numb the jaw a bit. Part of the reason it's been so aggravated the last couple of weeks was the dentist who was originally going to do the crown gave it a bit of a wiggle to see what it was like when he noticed that the crack on it was deeper than expected. And it's the very back one next to where the wisdom teeth were. So we sort of looked at it and went, the crack's all the way down to the root. To do a root canal to try and fix it, I don't have a very big skull. I don't have a very big jaw. So to fix it is going to be very difficult to get in there. They're high risk of damaging the jaw, getting in there to get the right angle to do the root canal. And there's some other issues in the jaw nearby, in the jawbone itself. So he's going, you know, there's a non-zero chance that trying to do that we would damage something anyway, and the fix wouldn't hold. So it's better to actually remove the tooth and we'll work things out from there. That way. No, it's not been a good year. So far this year, I have had discovered one new tumour, one new cyst, a tooth that we knew was cracked is cracked to the root, so has to be extracted. And then just before Easter, I get prep done to crown another tooth, which at the moment looks fine to just crown. But I will be having the crown done over, sort of the prep done just before Easter and the permanent crown fitted after Easter. So that's fab. Looking forward to that. But on the upside, the pituitary tumour came back as benign and non-functional, so we just have to watch it for size, because size can be a concern in that location. And fingers crossed, when we look at the jaw on Wednesday, we'll have the same story for the other cyst that we found in the jawbone, that it'll be, when they pull the tooth, they're going to have a look and see if they can see anything at the root that's of concern. If not, we'll just monitor the cyst for size. If it doesn't grow, we'll just cross our fingers and ignore it unless it plays up. If it does look infected at the base of the tooth, then we're going to look at doing a biopsy on it. But the problem is where it's sitting, it's in a nerve cluster, so we would rather leave it alone if it's an option. Funnily enough, I have Hashimoto's, which is an autoimmune condition, which has a whole bunch of awesome side effects. And bone density is one of them, which is one of the reasons that we're very vigilant with my teeth, among other things. I also need to get bone density scans done on a semi-regular basis because I'm at high risk of developing fragile bones. Sorry, there's too much bullshit in my life. The last set of scans I had done, I went from having denser than average to having. Do I need special terrain manipulator to get into that? Is that bedrock? This seems pretty unfair. I'll hear somewhere. I went from being at the top of normal range for density of bones to right on the bottom of the normal range between two scans. So that's not ideal. And we're hoping that they sort themselves out. But it's sort of like just one more thing on the list to monitor. Yeah, I thought I charged that.
Technology recharge. Technology recharge.
Hey Bram, how are you feeling? Technician was just asking for an update and I was trying to give one coherently. I think this fossil bed is embedded in bedrock. I'm trying to find if there's a channel underneath to get to it. Go way up from the top, go down the middle. Okay. Did they have to put another line in, or could they use the line they already had? I know they were having trouble with that earlier. Line is fine. Yay. One small victory. How do I get through basalt? That is the question. trying to find a scene here so I can get in there. Well, I don't think it's bug terrain. I think it's terrain you're not supposed to dig through, but the thingo field is under it. I may just have to find another one. May just have to find another one. But I am going a bit... Damn it! That was the best one I'd found in ages for size. A number of fossils, but it seems to be in a volcano that it won't let me dig into. There's also a building over that way somewhere. There's my ship there. That's the one I've just come from. Yep. There's a building over that way somewhere. For the most part I am. I'm finding the 80 fossils a little frustrating. Just because I'm finding it hard to find fossil fields. Alright, this looks like a better option. I've got a few here. Maybe. While Brem's in stream, I'm not going to disturb Vigilant Stone. He can discover that all by himself. All the ones there. Looks like. Oh, go for it. Alright, we'll do one then. Let's make sure we're locked and loaded. Alright, how many are we getting? Only one this time by the look of it. They do heal if you're not quick enough in killing them. Just the one? Sometimes they come in multiples, which is always fun.
Recharge. Technology recharge.
No, but they're big and they chase you a really long way, as I discovered the other day when my shield was broken. And I was out of ammo. The only death I've had thus far on this expedition was some surprise guardians that I didn't plan to pull. I misclicked. I chose the pretty ones. My Geki's pretty. Oh, I'm sorry, babe. Are they putting an order in to get it redone, or they need one of the doctors to come ride it, or they're looking for it? Can't. I'm sorry, babe. I'm so sorry. I know this hasn't been a great experience for you overall. Maybe you should ask them to send you back to the ICU, though I'm sure they need a bed for someone in a worse condition. Yeah, I know. I would have preferred for it not to have happened as well. Hopefully you'll get some sleep there though, it'll be a little bit quieter than the ICU. I've come to a new area. How many, 49 out of 80. I reckon I could assemble that now. What do I still need? I need starshipping range. Yep, we've got some forearms. We've got a selection of lower legs. And we have a selection of tails. Alright, we'll get that one sorted. I wouldn't have traded away the hunter forearms if I'd known that it hadn't saved any of them. But I'm sure I will get some more. have some slots, so let's install that. Don't know if I'm going back to a cold system or not.
Thermal protection falling. Technology recharge. Technology recharge.
It has been a strange couple of days, that's for sure. Oh, I'll have that, thanks. Indeed, indeed. So let's do that. So what do I need? I need carbon nanotube. And is it antimatter? Can't remember. I'll know in a moment. Antimatter housing. Garrett dust. Oxygen! Need oxygen again. I'm always needing oxygen. Alright. I swear, oxygen is the thing I've been most short of on this expedition. What's that? Wash stone. Okay. Alright, let's build this thing. Get myself another slot.
Technology prepared.
What direction I came from? I think it is. I think my ship's over the other way.
Thermal protection falling.
So those look like Venus flytraps. Oh, fall down the hole. So these things. Please don't tell me that's the one I've already tried to dig. It's looking a lot like it. My ship over there somewhere. It was near my ship. Yes, I've lost track of where my ship is. Summon it in. Doesn't worry me that I don't know where it is. But I'm just making sure I'm not backtracking. Alright, let's check this fossil bed, see if it's... I don't think it's the same one because I don't think it's tall enough. But it might be. It does look like I've dug a bunch of stuff out from it. And there's my ship, so yes.
Protection falling.
Yeah, probably. So I was going to check out the base where my ship was parked before I flew off. Just trying to find it again. Is that a staircase? Where did it get to? because it looked kind of curious. But yes, I'm going to fly to another location and try again. Some of the bases have been really interesting that I've found. And you know, I like to check out other people's work. See what they've done. Get inspiration for when I start doing all the base building stuff myself. At least this is one you can land at. A whole bunch of them have been ones you can't land at. And I can also, when I get back to my ship, try and build this bipedal thing. It's very interesting to see what people put in their bases and why. So, we go over here with our double landing pad. Cannot build here. That's fine. That's fine indeed. more than this. Alright. Let's assemble a biped. He's a Suckzilla. There you go. Suckzilla indeed. And that means it should want to send me the next dig location. Yeah, probably fueled enough.
Technology recharge.
Let's just see what we got. So that's a cell. I wish it, so one of the things they've got in Diablo, yeah, I know, I've been mucking around. I have actually finished most of this section, so I could probably finish that one now. I've been working on this one. I don't think I can do these until I've done one of these to get the reward. Yeah, I need to do that one to get the reward. I've done quite a few of those ones. So while I'm only just finished phase 2, I've been... So things like I can sell some fossils to get that. Alright. Let's hit the sky. And then look at the galactic map and see where we need to go next. You can definitely do it in under 3 hours. I've been mucking around, but I've also not had a lot of luck around finding fossil beds that I can dig. I keep finding fossil beds that have no fossils in them. Either, I don't know if it's because they've been picked clean already, or because where the line goes. I don't know if because I'm trailing behind other people or I'm just having bad luck finding them. I mean, one of the items that most people have difficulty finishing Where is the space station? There's bound to be one. Or is there? Maybe not. I'm not seeing a space station popping up on my overhead, on my heads-up display. Okay. The thing I was going to say is there's a bonefish that you need to fish, and I can't remember if the ignition was on the stream when I found it, but I basically got it on the first cast, which other people have said they spent hours fishing for the fish. So that was extraordinary. Particularly given you would know my fishing luck is generally terrible. Where do we want to go? Okay. You have to apparently...
Hostile ships approaching.
Which one's the ones I have to fire on? I'm right in the ship. That's why things are going poorly. I can't work out where I'm going. I can't steer. Alright. I have clipped into the ship. Got entertaining for a little bit. I was trying to back out. Collision was not working properly.
Navigational data received.
I'll take the reward. I don't need another freighter. No, I was being attacked before I flew into the freighter. As soon as I zoned in, I was being attacked by pirates. It was telling me that on screen. I don't have enough money to pay for it though. So I'm going to decline. Because I'm really only using it for storage anyway. It does have more storage than the one I currently have, but that's okay. I accepted one a little while ago, and I don't get to keep it, so at the end of the expedition it goes, so that's okay. Request payment instead.
Units received. Units received. Units received. Units received.
That got me a fair chunk of the way there. I know what I didn't check. I'll need to sell those the first opportunity we get. Is there a station here? Yes, there is.
No free slots in ship inventory.
Alrighty, we will offload that transponder and the suspicion. No, not what I wanted to do. need another slot to install it. Alright, I'll get another exosuit upgrade while I'm here.
Units received.
You and me both, babe. Could go down there and dig some bones, given it probably isn't as over farmed as some of the others. Seems a pretty world. Bit of blue-green marble. It's got fungal mould. It might even have a nanite farm here somewhere. Does this sometimes, where it struggles to land. Haven't quite worked out what the cause is. Presumably I was too close to the pillar when I tried to land. I'm sorry, babe. If there's anything I could do to help, I would. Not seeing a large number of fossils near here.
Units received. Units received.
Dwarves.
Units received. Units received.
The blighted planet. I would say that's a relatively accurate description of it.
Units received. Technology recharge. Technology recharge.
Look after yourself. When I've heard from the cleaners what time they're showing up tomorrow, I will let you know what time I can come by. I did get the message as to which ward you're on. Ooh. That's a little unusual looking. Is that a player base? A mining station of some sort. Much easier to land here.
Product received.
Is that what you donate to the archive? Nope, it doesn't like any of the ones I've got. No, I haven't sold all my bones, but it obviously doesn't want to take them. Be well, babe. Try and sleep. I know you're in pain. Insufficient words to open them. Run back down the bottom. Get undercover.
Technology recharge. Technology recharge. Technology recharge.
And let's have a look and see if we can see any fossils. Probably not in that direction. That's a lovely looking lake.
Units received.
Aha! Fossil bed. There's a building up there. Alright, let's go to the fossil bed and see if we can find ourselves some fossil. In fact, let's try and land near it. It was over this way. There's a building nearby too, on this side. I don't know where it got to.
Units received. Units received. Units received.
Or I'd run too far away. Make sure there wasn't fossils directly under where I was parked that I couldn't see. It does seem to change considerably given your direction and distance and facing. Hey Vab, you just missed Bram. I think he's just logged off to go have a nap. He's on the ward, transferring him from ICU to the ward. Apparently they misplaced the orders for the pain meds, so he's in considerable pain and they're trying to sort it out. So he's not enjoying that at the moment.
Weather warning. Incoming storm. Units received.
Yeah, hopefully. He's not having a good run. He's supposedly on double antibiotics to try and kill the bug that is causing the epiglottis to be swollen. But we'll see how it all goes.
Units received.
Now that's kind of how I expected the last one to work. That's across a lot of water. I'm between planets. I'm between systems going to the dude for Dig Part 3. But I have finished a whole chunk of Dig Past 4, and I could probably do large chunks of Dig Part 3 as well. But as I was having trouble finding fossils, and I came across a planet partway along when I was changing systems that had ancient bones, I figured I'd dig some up while I was here. Yeah. What the crates? It happens. It happens.
Weather update. Storm clearing.
Of course, the storm's clearing now. I'm underwater.
Units received. Units received. Units received.
There was something there. It was triggering an unknown.
Units received.
Another fossil bed over there.
Units received.
Hey, Chip. How you doing? What time is it? 11:35. I'm surprised it hasn't complained at me about the lack of bag space yet. Yeah, Bram apologises to anyone who was waiting on particular puzzles. I know he had some for did a bit of a top deck and missing deck cards. I never remember everybody's names. There was supposed to be a birthday puzzle done that he apologises profusely that he wasn't well enough to record it. Full deck. Missing something, I think it is. I don't know. I feel bad now because I've spoken to him, Hannah.
Technology recharge. Technology recharge. Technology recharge.
Now I feel really bad that I don't know the names they use. Grim chats to them a lot. Something I moused over and a question mark. Oh, lost it.
Units received.
Might be top deck and missing a few cards.
Units received.
So that feels a bit long. Look, I'll go to 2-word things. Oh, it's a big sunflower. That's where I've come from, I think. Also, there's one back there. And apparently I missed one. Onwards and upwards. I landed in some loot.
Units received.
Hmm.
Technology recharge. Technology recharge.
Hmm.
Shields down. Component repaired. Component repaired. Component repaired. Technology repaired. Component repaired. Component repaired.
That should be enough for me to get that up and sell it. Yeah, I'm getting a tooth pulled. Yeah, we've been having a less than fab week. That is very, very true. I would like to say we've had worse weeks just to make us feel better, but to be true, not so much. It has been a very scary week. Brem is finally out of the ICU. He's on the he's on the ward now, as opposed to he had been in ICU for the last few days. And I get a broken tooth pulled on Wednesday finally, and we find out what's going on with the jaw behind it. Hopefully, fingers crossed. And whether we need to do anything about it. It has been feeling a bit like if you if you sort of like wrote down the year that we've been having medically, someone would be sure that you've got Munchausen or Munchausen by proxy or something, because it is just ridiculous. Every time I have to talk to work about it, I'm like, there's no way they're going to believe me that there is yet another thing. It's just bad comedy. If Vamp's still around, she can vouch for the fact that I'm not telling lies. It has been a genuinely shitty week. Worst kind of comedy. Well, you know, I cut my finger, tragedy, you fall down a manhole cover and die, comedy. In that sense, it's comedy for someone. Not for us. But it has caused me to look at our wills this week and our power of attorney documentation and go, we really need to update those. I've been trying to get a hold of our estate lawyer to fix those. I'll have another go at calling her tomorrow. Because she's also had a pretty shitty month. Her sister-in-law passed a week ago from pancreatic cancer. It was only about 3 weeks or something between when they got the diagnosis and when she passed. I was chatting to another friend earlier today online and was saying, like, it's ridiculous the number of people we know who passed recently. He just lost his brother. Another friend of ours, my lawyer's sister-in-law passed. She was someone who was a friend before she was my lawyer. Cross that ball. That's full too. Almost. Should have done a bit of rationalising while it was nearby. I'm going to be nice. She's a baby compared to us. A friend of ours' brother died a couple of days ago, and I was chatting to them about what was going on and telling them that Brem was in hospital. Checking if any of these are on the other location, but I can get rid of some without taking up too many slots at the destination. Where is that? Should have solved that. Alright, time for a bit of cunning. What's the next one I need to build? Quadruped skeleton. So, do I have the base for a quadruped? No, I don't. But I have the base for... for an avian fossil. Another Saxilla. But that should hopefully have used. I want something that's got a 1, ideally. That's going to make for a funny bird. Oof. We should give you a tally of how many you've used out of your available slots.
Toxic protection falling.
Elephantine skull. Probably can sell those. Let's try and sell that. Clear up some space. Let's sell that because I don't think I'm going to need it.
Weather warning. Incoming storm.
Alright, where's my ship got to? Over there.
Technology recharge. Technology recharge.
Hey Eric. Yeah, I hear you on that one. Oh, hello Echo, you've come to say hi. What you up to, little girl? Can you settle? The kittens don't know what to make of all this. Dad's not home. They've been a bit off their food. I'm sure he'll be thrilled to know they've missed him on some level. Hello, Bunny, what you doing? I'm getting head bonks, am I? Or are you telling me it's bedtime? What you doing? It's certainly very close, isn't it? I'm going to get to dig site 3 before I do that, though. I'm going to sell some stuff. Leave some space in my bags. Tail to the face. Alright, that should clear up. Also, I saw something of interesting go past as I was spinning the wheel at speed, but no. Alright, that'll have cleared up some bag slots and given me some money. I should get rid of that upstairs because I don't really think I've got anywhere to store it anyway. Use it. So let's get rid of it. We love a multicultural environment. Nothing wrong with being a bit multicultural. That's almost an allied military unit there. Australian, British, German and French. All we need now is some Canadians to rock in. You can mess it up with some Hungarians, indeed. I think he's looking for the channel where his puzzles were featured. So if someone knows the name of the channel, that would be helpful. Whew, big planet. Let's go to the station first, and then let's find the quest marker. save the station so I can find it again. Let's give myself an extra slot so that I can store stuff, because I need to store all the things. See you later, Eric. Congrats, Chip. Alright, we have a beacon. Purple planet. I mean, that's not the planet where it is. Frost crystals, we've just got a bunch of frost protection. High sentinel activity, that'll be fab. Vamp, I meant to check what your Twitch username was. I was going to search for what I was assuming was some variant on Vampy. Because I had the cunning plan that I could be streaming that on my other computer while I was doing this. This looks vaguely familiar. Have I been here before? That's supposed to be on.
Units received. Units received. Units received.
The T-Rex.
Units received.
That's fair.
Units received.
I have a secondary account that I use to just watch stuff, and then I use this account for Do you know what's really annoying about that? I've been trying to find predators on my main save because I have a quest to kill 2 predators, and I have searched multiple planets for them thus far without finding them. Even with predators turned on, because the first time I looked, that was the problem. I spent a whole night looking for them, and the problem was I had predators turned off.
Units received.
There's some more fossils over there.
Extreme temperature detected.
What the heck? Sorry, that's not an in-game thing. Something just went bang nearby. But you're around here. That could be an explosion. I have a buddy. Tends not to be shots fired. We don't have a lot of firearms around here, but we've just come to the end of Holly, and we tend to get a lot of fireworks. We also get fireworks for Chinese New Year. We get fireworks for all sorts of things around here. Pretty much is the way. We did have a really fun incident a couple of years back where we ended up with a explosion taking out a whole bunch of trees in the back of someone's yard over the back fence from us, and we had bits of debris raining down onto our roof. That was fun. Yes, I am using fun sarcastically there. We had all sorts of entertainment with the fire department and the emergency services trying to work out what's going on.
Units received.
They're very big bugs flying in the air. They're flying slugs. That's super concerning. Hi, Eric. Back again. Glutton for punishment. I recognize some of the words. I don't know that I would attempt to solve it though. I do get Bren to rubber duck to me sometimes when he's getting stuck. If you haven't encountered rubber duck programming, it's where you explain the coding problem you have to a rubber duck, and in trying to do so, you sometimes solve the problem. So I get him to explain it to me, even though I don't understand it, so that if he can explain it in simple terms, maybe it'll help him work out where his problem lies. Sometimes I spot stuff for him. Super plan is for next week while he's home recovering. He's probably going to be off work for the next month, to be honest. He's planning that I go collect his mum a couple of times and they try and do a few solves or construct some puzzles while he's conservaling over here. My bag's up with stuff I don't want.
Technology recharge.
Oh, I saw some more fossils up top. Nope.
Technology recharge. Technology recharge. Technology recharge. Units received.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to get much choice in the matter. He's going to be off for at least a couple of weeks when he comes home. And he'd already applied for some extended time off over Easter because they'd been pressuring him to use some of his leave. So he already had that approved. So he won't be going back to work until after Anzac Day, which is the 25th of April. if I can sell to these dudes. I think I can.
Units received. Units received.
If I was on a different save where I was collecting ingredients to cook, that would be an entirely different matter. But I'm not. You've only got those things.
Product received. Product received. Technology recharge. Units received.
Where do I want to put it? I want to put it there. Okay, so I uninstall that one. I move that one to there. Then I reinstall that one into there. Alright. As I headed that way. Mr. Sentinel.
Units received.
Barbara is You is a curious game, that is for sure. There's whole trees down here. Very curious. And ruins. Neat. Alright, let's exit Stage left, or stage up maybe. Takes me from the weather, if nothing else. I'll let you know. So I've got to find out what time the cleaners are due. I may not know until tomorrow morning because they sometimes message me this time of night or later, or first thing in the morning. And then when I know what time they're coming, I need to work out whether that works to take Margaret to go see Brem or whether I just go solo. So I've got a few moving parts to work out, but I will let you know. I do need to be here when the cleaners come because they don't have keys or an alarm code.
Extreme night temperature detected.
Inhospitable place you've got here, dude. A muffin and a coffee could be a good option. I have struggled to actually finish drinking the coffee the last couple of days because I just, every time I sit down to drink on something happens, I have to pull up stumps and go. Very frustrating. It's taken me 3.5 days to drink 2 cups of coffee. What torsos do I have?
Weather update. Storm clearing. Units received. Units received. Extreme night temperature detected.
I do have 2 of those. So you want me to find a quadruped, but you haven't given me a quadruped. That's why, because I haven't handed in. That's going to be problematic. Because that suggests I'm going to need those. I've got 2 of them too. 224 versus 221. Five, five. 11, 16. So we'll keep that and that. That one I'm undecided on. That one we might keep if we can get an extra slot for it. I want to say might be an ancient ribcage. Looks like you have to have of the same type.
Product received. Weather warning. Incoming storm.
There's the ungulate thing. Ungulate. Yeah, we'll go with one of those. Not the tail I would have used, but I couldn't find a different one. Later, chick. I'll look for a couple of packaged.
Units received.
And that should finish a couple of different things that I needed to finish. Predator just ran through the middle of the camp. Woohoo! I got the funky stuff. That has how many slots open? Let's compare. Has one less slot than my current one. Are they better organised is the question. Damage goes down, scanner range goes up. Take and add to collection. Yeah.
Extreme temperature detected.
I had the critical that kept attacking me. Alright. Alright, so they've been all collected. That's the next one. I have a new reward to collect there. That's my new quest. It'll probably be worth more if I go to the zone where I have to go next.
Extreme temperature detected. Technology recharge. Technology recharge. Technology recharge.
Where's my ship got to? Over there. Let's sell the egg. Hey, Chrysalis. Let's see how fueled up my engines are. That needs a top off.
Technology recharge.
What does that need? Warp cells. Needs antimatter.
Technology recharge.
It's a scatter weapon. That could be frightening.
Recharge.
Alright, let's get to the next system. Now that we've charged up our... And we've extended the range on our engines. We can do a double jump. Nice to have jumped in and not been jumped on by pirates for a change. Let's pop into the station, offload some stuff. Upgrade my suit a little bit more. Bit of quality in my freighter. That matter. There's stuff on it that I could offload. But it doesn't have a teleport module.
Received.
I don't know what I needed the wiring in for. Night, Dan. Have a good one. Something needed a wiring in. Forgotten what it was that needed the wiring in. Oh, it was the ship I was trying to repair. No, I was just going to dismantle it. Okay. Well, I've got one multi-tool expansion slot thingy. So let's expand the multi-tool. Okay. Alright, maximum. Life support, life support.
Product received.
Alright, let's find dig site 4. Seems to be on another ocean planet. Noah. What's that one? Romsey has the bones. Nearly 1 o'clock, so we'll find the dig site, and then I think that's me for the night. So we're going to the dig site, and then what else have we got at this location? Collect a fossil. Reptilian. Is it Poppet? You come to see what Mum's doing, have you? You're telling Mum it's time to go to bed, are you? No, don't go down there. No, I don't like it when you go down the back of the computer. Makes me anxious. Please don't do that. The fireflies of some sort. They're flying dodecahedrons. That's not at all creepy. And walking fossils. Can I give it a pellet? What does it eat? That's very confusing. I need to take a screenshot of that. And the sentinel in the background. That is very strange looking. Alright. Let's see what's in here and then let's go find the big side. A different one? There's another one. It's a little itty bitty one. And it seemed to drop... Oh, it dropped the food pellet right through it. Or I gave it the food pellet and it kind of tried to eat it. Ah. This world is very strange. What you doing, kitten? The bone critters have poop. How bizarre, how bizarre. I'm guessing I'm going to need the bone bits later. To cook with, given I know that that is a future thing I need to do.
Radiation protection. Falling. Units received. Units received. Units received. Technology recharge.
I'm going to take a stab at guessing that the fossil bed is at the dig site, given there's not supposed to be fossils on this planet. Metal fingers might have some uranium, might not. Where did the metal fingers go? Am I standing on top of them?
Weather warning. Incoming storm.
come across a couple of really interesting caves. That looks like the dig over there. Alright, before I go anywhere, I am going to get one of these little bone critters as a friend to take with me. There is one. They were everywhere before.
Radiation protection falling. Product received.
I've had so many of those little skeleton mobs before. Where are they? Give it a pat. I'll give it a treat. We'll customize its appearance. Now, little buddy, you can have pets. I steal like a cow. It looks very silly for a gek to be riding something that small. Which, given how small a gek is, that is ridiculous. You have fun, little buddy? Let's can't remember what it's used for. Let's
Radiation protection falling. Technology recharge.
Hmm.
Units received. Units received. Units received.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to dive down to it or not, but I'm assuming it's underwater and not on the surface, that there's not an island. Yep, you're right about that. This feels a bit like trolling. I don't know that any of this is helping me. Yeah, but I came here because there was a whole bunch of comm markers and they're not actually helping me. Well, that's pretty. There's a rainbow. All right. So let's take off. Yeah, Brem's in Bring Hospital. The short version. Last Monday night, so a week ago. There's no bases. Last Monday night, Brem woke up in the middle of the night with a sore throat, very sore throat. The recommendation is to go to this one and get the fossils there. Woke up with a very sore throat on Monday night. It didn't improve. We went to our general practitioner, so primary care practitioner, twice during the week, and he was going, there's a bit of a bug going around, it'll get better, just sort of try not to talk, which, as I'm sure you would know, is something Bren struggles with. Try not to talk, rest up, bit of honey and lemon in warm water, just sort of baby it a bit. It continued to not improve, and overnight on Friday night he woke up in the middle of the night in acute pain, was rolled up in a ball crying on the bathroom floor. So I convinced him on Saturday late morning to go to the ER when nothing we had was helping. We went to the ER and we went from waiting for triage and sort of talking to someone and sort of being treated as a "why are you bothering us for a sore throat" to get him next to the nurse's station. We're transferring him to a hospital with an ICU. He could die at any moment. Apparently his so the epiglottis is like a little flap that sits in the throat and stops food and stuff from going into your lungs. It had gotten an infection and was swollen at the base of it, which was preventing it from opening and closing properly. And the concern they had was if it swelled up, they would not be in a position to intubate because they wouldn't be able to get past the epiglottis into the lungs, at which point, I don't know if you've been watching The Pit, because it is the new hotness as far as TV series are concerned, but in episode 1 they do a crake. That's what they would have had to do. They can't do a tracheotomy because where the obstruction is lower than where the obstruction is, so they have to actually go lower than that, just above the sternum. So a tracheotomy is usually in the neck. At crake, they actually crack below that and cut the sternum and cut in. I think it's under the clavicle. So that was going to get super not entertaining. So yeah, that was, so he was in the ICU until late this afternoon, our time. So he spent 2 and a bit days in the ICU. Sorry, I've been explaining it a lot over the last few days to everyone. He's doing much better. They're a bit concerned that the swelling hasn't been going down as fast as they would have liked. I needed to sell all of those. Oh, I got 2 matching. Bigger one. So yeah, it's been a challenging couple of days. And on Wednesday, so the day after tomorrow, I go get my broken tooth pulled. So we've got a little bit of concern that they don't release him if he's going to need monitoring on Wednesday, because I won't be able to monitor him. Because I will be loopy myself on pain meds. So we'll see how that all goes. But he did log in earlier to say hi. He's way bored. Way bored. But in a fair bit of pain still. They've been having fun playing with cannulas and IV lines. The veins keep collapsing. But hopefully he has a stable line in at the moment. When I went to see him earlier today, they had a protective, like a compression bandage over where they had the is there anything in particular? They were, yeah, trying to protect the wrist where the thing was. I think that'll sell for more elsewhere.
Product received. Units received.
So it's been a crazy week. We'll see how it all goes. But he's probably going to be off work for a while because he's not going to be allowed to go back to work for the next fortnight or so, which runs us straight into where he already had time planned for Easter, because work has been pushing him to take time off because he's accrued too much leave. Yes, I'm really glad he listened to me. Apparently, there was a really good chance if I didn't make him go in on Saturday lunchtime that he wouldn't have made it to Saturday evening. Particularly given the dinner he had on Friday night, because I'd been trying to give him mostly liquids. I suck at naming on planets sometimes when I'm trying to hit a target. I'd been giving him mostly liquids, and I'd had pasta planned for one night that week, and I'd said I didn't think you could eat it with your throat, and he went, no, I wanted to give it a go, it's soft anyway, it'll be fine. And according to the doctors, that was a really high probability of killing him. So that's made me feel good too. We don't know what the inciting incident was that triggered the infection in the first place. We're still trying to work that out. The range of options. Best case scenario, like he ate something sharp and it nicked it and he got a cut that got infected. Worst case scenario is a tumour, but we need the swelling to go down enough that they can get in to have a proper look and do a biopsy. They're just a bit concerned that it hasn't been healing as quickly as they expected with the antibiotics. So he's on massive doses of IV antibiotics, 1 course a day at the moment, as required. And they've sort of, as of today, moved to a double course. To try and sort things out. Yep. Yeah, so they haven't detected any particular virus. He hadn't eaten anything stupidly hot, so we don't know. I mean, there's been a couple of bugs going around locally. Like while we were in the ER, there was a guy came in that they went, yeah, that's mumps. So, you know, that's going on. Yay for infectious diseases that people are no longer protected against. What did they just do? It went up in the air and it get the, so we're just, yeah, we don't know. I've had oral ulcers recently, and we were sort of like, is there some way that he's gotten cross-contamination from that? Because I've been being really careful. And sort of like we were Googling earlier this evening, and gastric ulcers, oral ulcers are supposedly not contagious, so shouldn't be that. Because we've been being really careful, but, you know, in case I managed to transfer when I was cooking, or if he'd eaten any of my leftovers, we couldn't remember. Whether that might have caused it, or if he'd had a drink from my glass or something like that. But we've been scratching our heads trying to work out what it is. Did something shoot you? Is that why you ended up in the air? There's critters over here that I didn't know. like probably more likely than mRNA would be where his mum lives in a sort of retirement village / gated community. There's apparently been a throat infection going around there, sort of a virus, that we don't know what the cause of that is, but he goes around there a couple of times a week, and depending on what his mum's doing, he hangs out with some of the other residents. So, like, maybe he caught something there that mutated. And they were saying, like, the concern is that there's an ulcer in the throat. They have sometimes, but the location is the problem, and the location is right at the base of the epiglottis, which has caused it to swell. And if it had been elsewhere, it just might have been a bit painful, but it wouldn't have been risky. But while the risk has substantially reduced as they're bringing the swelling down, it's still not non-existent that it'll balloon up again until they kill the infection. So he's still being very actively monitored in he's moved to the ENT ward, where they specialise with ear, nose and throat stuff. So hopefully it'll be a bit quieter than where he was on the ICU. But for the first few days, they wanted him in the ICU to make sure that he was being adequately monitored and not about to suffocate at the drop of a hat. There's a key. But it's been a very scary couple of days. And I tend to get random messages of doom and gloom in the middle of the night when he wakes up and feels scared and lonely. So I wake up to all of them in the morning, which is awesome. Well, there was a friend of mine, we were talking about this earlier, but we know a bunch of people who've had close friends or relatives die recently. A friend of mine was saying that there's been an abnormal uptick of people with heart failure, and they're not sure if it's COVID related or if it's Brem's sort of waking up in the middle of the night and sending me Discord messages when he's a bit upset and scared and tired and stressed. So I wake up to them in the morning. And there was a whole bunch of yeah. But there's sort of some sort of speculation that there's more to it than that. Like there's probably an aspect of COVID's contributed and yep, the stress levels is a big chunk of it. Yes, poor sleep timing. What time is it? Nearly 2 a.m. I will go to bed very soon because I do have things to do. But yeah. Did I do that one? I don't think I have. I'll go do that one while I'm waiting for... maybe I have done those ones. Maybe that is that little pocket of the ones I did before. Yeah, it is. Alright. I'll collect fungal mould later after I've built a base computer and built a wall around them, if I remember. Yeah, it's 1:50 in Melbourne as well. And I should really be sleeping. But I'm kind of failing at sleeping a little bit these days. For a variety of reasons. Woohoo! Kind of funny that was number 80. Oh, more big critters. Don't know why I keep collecting the dirt. I just sell it. It's not really worth anything. Look, sometimes I'm good. Sometimes I'm good. Not always. I've been really bad the last... I don't know. It's hard to say. 4 or 5 months. So I need the reptile skeleton to get the thing to make the broth. Hello, kitten. Yeah. I like the malevolent skull.
Technology recharge.
You telling me to go to bed, little one? It's time for Mum to come cuddle, is it? I think I'm going to head up to the space station and log off and go get some of that slug that we were talking about. Not that I'm going to succeed terribly well, but I think that I should try. Because it is going to be a long day tomorrow. So let's get up into the air. I... Where am I freighting? No. Let's get the nexus there because I can get to that pretty easily. I think it's 2 a.m. I should go sleep. Thanks for hanging out, guys. It's been a really strange week or so. I'm likely to be on tomorrow night, but probably not until 2 a.m. Because I will need to get up early to go to the dentist. But thanks everyone who's dropped by. I'm sure Brim appreciates all the well wishes, and yeah. I won't be streaming Wednesday night, and there's good odds I won't be streaming Thursday night because if I feel well enough to stream, I'm hoping I will raid. But if I don't feel well enough to raid, I probably won't be well enough to stream after it. But Friday night's good odds. Friday night my time. So we'll see how we go. The other thing is I will be off work during the day, so I might work out what my April game's going to be, and I will stream that potentially on Friday or the weekend. I need to work out what that's going to be. But thanks, everyone. We'll talk to you later.